Okay. All right, let's do this. Now I do believe that we are live. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome. It's Alisha. I'm Alisha Braché. I'm here with my co-host Anna Harper at Cosmic Gateway, and we are joined by Nick, the one and only Nick from Almond Alpha. Welcome. Thank you for being here. So this is a live production in conjunction with World Unity Week, and I thought I would get you on, Nick, obviously because you're part of the fam here, but also you're having such a massive role in World Unity Week, running your own Temple of the Rising Masculine, and you have done some amazing work, and the party hasn't even begun yet. So I thought we'd get you on to have a bit of a chat, and you can share and tell us what you've been working on and where people can go and watch the amazing work that you've put together, which will be coming up over the next 4 days.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you for asking me to come and do this, because I think it's a nice little full circle thing, because this is a big thing for me to be doing, and it all kicked off with Anna getting me involved with Cosmic Gateway, and then that snowball that seemed to happen from September onwards. So without you guys, I mean, it's I certainly wouldn't be podcasting and hence getting involved in this. So massive thank you. It's a big day for all of us. But yeah.
I was just actually reading, Nick. The first time I messaged you was August 27th.
Oh, that's what you were talking about.
What are you talking about? Are we celebrating an anniversary today, or
almost a friend anniversary?
Friend anniversary.
Yeah.
More than that. It's more than a friend of. I don't even know what it is. It's
come up with a name.
Yeah. So anyway, this is obviously I got offered the opportunity to bring together the Temple of the Rising Masculine, which is, I mean, I think in this moment in history, it's no small deal. Like, it's quite, and the feedback we've had, as usual, the women turn up to help support it and things like that. Nothing new there, and the way they're talking, they're saying this is huge. They feel that this room and what's happening around World Unity Week is much bigger than just a dude like me putting together a bunch of other dudes to talk about dude stuff, So
well put, Nick. So well put.
And so it's all coming together, and like a lot of really formidable people. The good thing with World Unity Week is that gives you a little bit of that street cred to get some people on that might not necessarily normally make the time for it. So I get to interact and have interviews with some just phenomenal men that are literally, they embody the rising masculine, both young and old. And I'm amazed at the caliber of the people that I'm going to be hanging out with for the next 4 days in the middle of the night, Australian time.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. I can do nothing but smile when you talk about it. It really is an energy of its own. It's really incredible what you're doing and pulling together. And talking this morning with Todd Medina, and we were talking about how impactful the ripple effect is from energetic fusion and collaboration, and then broadcasting it. But let's get into the nuts and bolts, because I know that you're going to be pulling some wild hours.
Yeah.
And maybe if we can break down and you can share like how and where people can find and
Yeah.
watch and follow the magic that you are bringing together.
Yeah. So everything we do will stream. We've got a if you go to, I don't know if you've got any links to the Trello boards and things like that, but if you go to worldunityweek.org, it should be pretty easy to find. You'll see a whole bunch of boards and all different categories, and you'll see Temple of the Rising Masculine in there, and you can find access to the Zoom room so that you can come in live and hang out with us, and there'll be certain sessions that are interactive. But aside from that, every session will go live to World Unity Week, and then be shared on Almond Alpha's Facebook page. So yeah, but I mean, for me, proceedings start tonight at 10 p.m. with our opening ceremony. And then I think for me, they finish sometime on Saturday at about midday. But we basically run, I think, 12 hours. Most of the days are pretty full. I know tonight it is literally session back to back to back to back.
Who do you have for your opening ceremony, Nick?
So we've got, I got connected with two women, Anna and Petra, from the Mary Magdalene School. They're based in Holland, which is funny because that's where my heritage is from. And there's all these full circle moments happening in this process. I actually had a moment last night around this that was fairly emotional because I've been focused on this, on how massive we all feel this is for the collective and for the masculine in general. And I hadn't taken the time to take in how big this was for me. And I'm having this whole collection of full circle moments happen in terms of, I mean, there's a guy called David G coming on who's a relatively well-known meditation instructor, and like there's much more to his work. And he was one of the people that I connected to early in my journey, and I approached him, and through his people, we've organized for him to come on. So on the second night, I'll get to introduce him. And that for me is a full circle moment. It's like this coming back where in the early days, I imagine one day I might get to share space with someone like that. But then I've also had this thing where it's like my ancestral Dutch roots have come back to support me. It is so bizarre. I've got a guy called Ton Vanderkuren coming on. Another guy named Eric, I can't remember his last name, which is terrible of me. Anyway, I was talking to Eric, and Ton, who's coming on in Holland, is like up there. Like he's a very big deal in Europe. He spends time on both sides of with the Palestinians and the Israelis, and he's all involved with that. He's an incredible guy, and I'm getting to hang out with him, another Dutchman. And then Eric's also a Dutchman. It's like all these synchronicities are happening. Anyway, it went one step further last night, night before last. Eric, one of the other guys, put me in touch with a gentleman named Sander, who has the exact same surname.
This war.
Yeah. And we had a meeting, and we connected like immediately on this level. And he's another guy who's a pretty big deal, got a lot going on. He got no time for some fool in Sydney. And he put together like this beautiful 11-minute video on something I'd said in that talk, that like our conversation, that really hit a note with him. So he's now going to come on, and we're going to talk about man and connecting with the heart and things like that. But this whole experience has turned into a very synchronistic and personally expansive event beyond the skills of organizing something of this scale. It's transformative at the deepest levels. And I mean, even down to we had the retreat that you, Alisha, and Irina hosted about 5 or 6 weeks ago, and I remember sitting there talking to Nat, because I've had the Mary Magdalene coming in like all the time for like months. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I should dive down that rabbit hole one day. And then here I am about to open a ceremony on my own with two women who are very respected in their field, who are Dutch, connected to my ancestry. and the Mary Magdalene connection. And
It's
last
funny
night,
because I think you started this work months ago, Nick. Everything
yeah,
that's unraveling, and then it's led you to this, and Nat
yeah,
with Mary Magdalene, and you've been looking at the womb stuff as well, the feminine
yeah,
womb, and then
absolutely,
yeah,
yeah. Which is probably interesting too, because I've had some interesting conversations, because there's a bit of conjecture about having women open the temple, but I felt that was imperative. And not that there's any great resistance where there's huge pushback, but I have had people sort of question the idea behind that, whereas I thought it was like absolutely necessary to do, considering it's the first one, and where things are at. I thought it was not only the right thing to do, but it's the right thing for the masculine as well, to have them, because they're going to set the whole temple. They're going to create that container for the 4 days, and sort of set the scene on everything.
That makes sense to me, in the sense that
Yeah.
you look at just masculine, feminine energy, and how the masculine, feminine, works with the etheric, with the energy, and they create that space, and then the masculine come in with the physicality aspect. So to me, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think symbolically too, that we're sort of coming from this almost a union. And we're sort of aiming that on the last day. I would have actually liked to. It would have been fun to get them back for the last day as well. But I know they're doing a lot and they're very busy. As that coming together of the masculine and feminine, which we are doing some stuff on that on the last day, but not to the scale that I think it should be done. Like, I think the 2 rooms, because there is a feminine and a masculine room, I think those 2 rooms should have merged on the final day. But I mean, there's some people who disagree with that.
You can't please everyone, can you?
No.
So with your guests, Nick, I know I've spoken to a few masculines that lately, and you guys have been doing a lot of work, and it's coming out more and more. I remember this time last year we were like, Alicia's cold. Sorry. This time last year, Alisha, I'm like, where are the masculines? Yeah. And that's how I started talking to you, and then bit by bit. But now in the last 3 months, you guys are like everywhere. So what does it feel like for you when you're talking to all these masculines? Like, are you guys finding that you're on the same subject about ascension? And
so there's a theme that's coming out of doing this, and it probably started before that, and it's a theme regarding men in groups. We're all being brought together to start creating groups of men, congregating groups of men. I guess it's like a tribal thing to a degree too. That we have women's groups and men's groups, and that's a real theme coming out of it. But I don't know. There's something about it. So last Sunday, we had my Conscious Man project finally get together to do our first Zoom. And can I tell you now, the guys on that call were saying this is the best Sunday morning I've probably ever had. And these, if you're Australian, you know what a bloke is. And these are blokes. Like, these are men, rough around the edges, I'm surprised the couple weren't drinking a beer while they were on it. It was just brilliant. And
on a Saturday morning, could you imagine if it was a Sunday morning? Imagine if it was Saturday night. Sorry.
Well, hey, don't laugh.
Saturday night with the rising masculines drinking beers.
Yeah. But it was, I'm still buzzing from it. And my messages didn't stop for a couple of days from people that were in on that call. And we're actually going to, in one of the sessions, we're actually going to play 55 minutes of what we created in that room. It actually went for 2.5 hours. And I had to kick them out eventually, because we had to leave. But there's, we know, like we listen, like you had Todd on this morning, and I remember months ago, feeling this shift. I know that, certain women have been saying that, that they've had you know, felt the release of masculine energy that they've had to hold on to for so long. The shift, I mean, the shift has happened. It is happening. And it's just built momentum in the last few months. It's incredible.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
Yeah.
And I'm talking more and more now to men as well that have that, like you said, they have their own groups, and you know, they share so many things like disclosures, or they've also got you know, the conscious men talking about spiritual stuff. And the one thing I'm actually I'm loving is how they're all actually acknowledging the work that the feminine has done and how they want to combine it and work together. So before, I guess there was the masculines and the feminines, but now it's like all coming together and hanging out together and talking, and it's beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, no, go.
You go.
No, you go.
No, you go.
Yeah, this is great TV. Oh, where was I going? Now I've forgotten. It was really good too. The guys, something about guys. Yeah, I'm so sorry, I stuffed that.
Guys drinking beers in their bintang singlets. Or
yeah. So I've lost it. There we go.
With your conscious men group, Nick, can you just tell us a bit about what subjects you guys cover in that group?
Yeah, there was a lot. Like, obviously, there's a lot of disclosure, particularly because I think half of the group was in Melbourne. But then there was this interesting. There was some guys in there that hadn't gone down that track, and you could see them in this background, sort of going, "Oh, okay." But it's the really good thing is you make these groups really open where people can express themselves. So these guys listening to that, they don't necessarily have to believe it. Right. But everyone's respectfully listening and interacting. I mean, we talked a lot of, you know, spiritual topics. A big one was a lot of guys feel like they have nowhere to turn. So without groups like this, they're in the wilderness, because I know a lot of them watch Cosmic Gateway. And that was one of the interesting things. Cosmic Gateway got a very flattering mention. And so they're but they're sitting in the background watching. And I mean, what we did by creating this group, and it's not me creating this group anymore. I published a group. That's what I did. And then the guys took over. I typed in, you know, my details on Zoom and created a room, and the guys came in. You know, like, we're all co-creating these spaces. It's just, you just need someone to plant that seed. So my hope is that, like, some of these guys will actually begin to branch out from that space and create their own space, you know. So it's like a satellite system where you just, the web. Yeah. Particularly,
we do.
Particularly in physicality. Like it's one thing to have Zoom meetings, and that's great. But like you guys know, when we finally met and had our retreat, completely different experience. And a transformative. I mean, that's where the Conscious Man project came out of. That's where I met Ben from Unity Earth and Irina, and then next minute we're doing this, you know, like, so much comes out of that in person.
In the reading, and then it sparks a template for a new project and a new sharing and a new ripple effect. And I have no doubt that, you know, what you're doing, what Cosmic Gateway is doing, what we're doing together through World Unity Week is a template for something bigger and grander that will, I have no idea what that is. I have been getting downloads in my sleep, but I'm like, can you hold off on the downloads? I'm trying to get through this, trying to get some sleep. But and I think that's what that momentum that you were talking about is, that whatever's been sparked in your Conscious Man project, that sparks and ripples, and it, you know, and that's how we change the world. You know, that's how the world is changing right now, through our, you know, our very eyes. So
Well, actually, one of the things that came out of it too, and this is one that sparked my interest, because my natural inclination is how can we lift? Hey, I saw that. That was in L time. Huh?
you're walking out of the matrix.
one of the guys literally took words out of my head, but he said, how can we also use this group to lift each other up, to help each other reach their goals, push our boundaries, and start to fulfill missions and purposes and things like that. And I thought that was really, really magical, because this is the stuff that I think, and now I know that they're thinking that. And it's just perfect. So yeah, this is the sort of magic that's coming out of it.
You know what I love as well, Nick? Because we always talk about your heart, right? Like in our group chat, we always talk about Nick's heart, and it's the most loving heart ever. But you've got Nick, your physical body, the masculine side of you, you know, footy head, wrestler. But yet you always felt like you had this beautiful feminine heart, like really loving and nurturing. So I think it's really beautiful that you're the one to create it, because you've got the masculine and the feminine aspects of you, and then bringing the conscious man together.
Yeah.
I'm just watching you now. I'm like,
it's good. It's good luck. It's not good management. Let's just say that. It's just very fortunate. Something, yeah.
I truly, and I've said this multiple times in the last few weeks and last few months. I think I've said it to you directly. I've certainly said it to you, Anna, and various people that I've spoken to. But you really are a true inspiration in what is possible when you walk heart-led, when you walk a path that is open, that is willing to overcome insecurities or challenges, or, you know, whatever word you want to place on that, and focus purely on mission, on collective, and what can be created through that, and be open to the doors of possibility and opportunity that are awaiting and continuing to open and expand. And I think to myself, like, I'm just in awe watching you go from strength to strength since we've met. And I'm like, can we like carbon copy this?
Start cloning. Maybe.
Well, let me get that cloning through the world any week. So maybe it's not done. but you know, I mean, it takes all types of the world, but I'm like, if we could have more Nicks, you know, or more people that are inspired by Nick, and the work that you're doing, and to include the men who are in the Conscious Man Project and all that. I mean, that's the masculine. I see the masculine component as the end component that then changes the physical form. And when that's happening on a collective, on a global level, we know that this new world is emerging before our very eyes, and that's what makes me excited.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, look, these men do exist, and we're finding them now, and I'm finding them. Like, these guys are phenomenal.
Maybe you should do a round table with Cosmic Gateways Feminine and the Rising Masculine.
That would be so easy to do.
Ben's on.
Hey, Ben.
Yeah, he just commented, "Hey guys."
Is this Mr. Ben Sharp?
No.
Bowler. Oh, hang on. Sorry, that Ben. I've got too many Bens. Ben Bowler. Oh, hello, Ben. What's that you're saying, Ben? Yeah. Okay.
I could have totally got that game there.
I guess massive credit and gratitude and thanks to you, Ben. If you are still on watching, I just saw your comment then, and you know, in being the visionary to allow this space to come together. I mean, without you and without connecting, we wouldn't be here right now, and we wouldn't have been in connection with all these amazing people who have chosen to be a part of it. And as you were saying, Nick, you know, you're able to bring in people that perhaps you wouldn't have been able to share space with, but coming into the umbrella of World Unity Week and that umbrella of unity, it really is drawing people from all corners, of all perspectives, of all you know, communities, cultures. It's crossing barriers in ways that we can't even comprehend. And that momentum and energy is huge. It's massive. And I keep going back to yeah, you know, there's the finality of recording at this time and a schedule and a Trello board and, you know, all the mechanics of what has brought this together, but the energy behind it is what is important, and how that will translate into physicality throughout the collective during this week and for the many years to come. So
I'm actually fascinated in how you managed to not only start but grow a movement and maintain, I guess, for lack of a better word, the integrity of it. And so, like, this has started with obviously unity as the idea, and it seems like that unity permeates through all the people, the whole organization, and it's not getting diluted. Like I've had, like, there's no trouble, there's no anything. And starting this Conscious Man project thing and getting the guys together, I was conscious that we want to bring more people in, but then I'm like, how do we maintain what we had on that little call the other day? If we're growing, like, how do we maintain it? I instantly thought of Ben and World Unity Week, because if, I mean, how you manage to do that, if you bottle that, I'll have a 6-pack.
you'll have a what?
I'll have a 6-pack. Yeah.
I don't want to sign. Okay.
Oh my goodness, sorry, I'm just trying to compose myself because there's just so many jokes right now. And I'm already delirious and it's only 10.
And this isn't the comedy hour.
It's not, but maybe it is. I mean, it's human that gets us through, right? It's human.
Yeah. Have you?
No, you go.
Oh no, I thought you lost your microphone then. That's all.
Would have, you know, it happened before.
Yeah.
So many new skills I've learned in the last week or fortnight, and one is managing a microphone.
So yours opening ceremony starts tonight, Nick, at 10 p.m.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe I'm going to go past my bedtime just
for that.
Yeah.
You know what? It would be an honor if you did, because I don't know. There's like I say, it hit me last night. That opening moment. There's something there that's massively transformative, and it's a big moment personally for me. And I mean, this room isn't about me. I never made it about me. I actually tried to extract myself. I ended up doing a heap of interviews, but I actually purposely at the start was trying to extract myself from doing a lot of that stuff, because I didn't want to end up making something that looked like it was about you know, the Nick show. You know, it's but like I say, then at the same time, like, though that opening ceremony isn't about me, there's a very at a personal level, there's something massive there for me. Don't be surprised if there's waterworks.
I was going to say, I think we might need tissues tonight.
Yeah.
Would you say you're a crier though? A lot of
Hey?
men don't cry. Are you a crier?
Sometimes. I did last night. Yeah. I had when it hit me, I had a meeting with Anna and Petra regarding, I didn't really, we had a bit of a gist of what was going to go on for the opening, and I sort of, but we hadn't really detailed it, and they messaged me at about 7:30, 8 o'clock and said, can we quickly jump on a Zoom? So I jumped on a Zoom, and once I knew what was going to happen, and I thought I was going to go, hey everyone, here they are, there you go, and they do their thing. And they said, no, we're going to do a dialogue. We'll talk about this. And I said, that feels good. We'll do that. So we're actually doing a whole, it could be anywhere up to sort of 30 minutes or so, where we talk about the masculine, but it felt very right. And then I got this sense of everyone's coming in for it. Like, so, like my team, everyone's coming from all the realms to observe, like, that's on my, my people. And I feel like there's a real, like I say, an ancestral, some sort of link. I feel like ancestors are coming in. Yeah. So.
Great excitement, I imagine. and feel and sense.
Yeah, it feels like that. Right, you got me again.
I think, Nick, first of all, you can't take yourself out of the picture. You are a critical ingredient. It'd be, look, I'm not great at cooking, but it'd be like making, help me out here, Anna, making pasta sauce without tomatoes. Yeah. You're
the tomato.
But also, I'm so glad that you brought up the emotion behind this, and I'm so glad that you were able to have that moment. And I'm sure you'll have many moments over the coming week. And yeah, it's interesting, that emotion that sweeps over you at the most unassuming time. I'm sure there's going to be waterworks for us at weird and wonderful times throughout this. And just a credit to you for being so authentically you.
Yeah.
What happened, Nick?
I said, yeah, you got me. Yeah. Anywho.
Just taking a moment now to take all that in. I'm sure everyone on the live felt that too. Yeah. Well, you know what? Just to sort of break it up with a bit of comedy. At least you didn't have to navigate mascara and panda eyes, you know? That's probably
I forgot to put it on this morning. Normally I would. Yeah. So I've got.
The reason I say that the reason that I say that is I actually had my little waterwork moment this morning about 10 minutes before I went live with Todd. And I'd already put on my mascara, and I was like, oh no, you're going to hold off, Alisha. Now is not the time. Save that for, 8 p.m. tonight.
I actually did want to ask, I did want to know like how this has been for you, because I mean, you've probably gone through some stuff, and I caught the last 15 minutes of you with Todd this morning. And I mean, that looked like, I need to check out the rest. That looked like some epic viewing. I don't know. I could feel what was going on there, and it could well be one of the best things he's made a lot of content. One of the best things he's created. So I'll have to go back and look at it. But like, how's it all been for you guys personally? Like,
well, Alicia's running on like very little sleep.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
Yeah. I'll be really honest. I spoke to Katie Jane because she's also going to be doing a lot of segments with us over this week, and and it's been like everyone's been Anna and because it's not just me, there's a team behind me, physical and non-physical, and I feel bad because in the last week everyone's like, how can I help? I'm like, I don't know. I just
like that.
I'm not sure where I'm just kind of in this mode right now on this Trello board. Just let me work out what I'm doing. But I spoke to Katie briefly this morning, and because we're navigating so many different things on a multi-dimensional level all the time, and we kind of cracked some jokes, and she talked about how, some of us are going through deep emotional clearing and purging, and that she was going to jump in and do some energy work on someone to help support. And I'm like, that's what we do. We just tag team one another to get through and do the best we can. And I said, I put in a request. When you asked me what can I do, I put in a request. I said, can you clear my energy every hour on the hour for the next 4 days? Cheers, because that would really help. It would really help. Just give me a zap, give me a boost. Actually, I was like, no, include everyone who's participating. But I mean, I know I'm making light of it, but it's been intense. It's been, to be really raw and human about it, it's been the most, I don't even have words for what has happened in the last 6 weeks, let alone the last fortnight week leading into this, because a lot like yourself, I have done a lot of pre-records, for various reasons. Some people couldn't you know, come into this like window period of these 4 days. And in hindsight, I'm so grateful for the pre-records. Gonna give me a little nap time, you know, little hour here and hour there. I can have a lay down.
Alisha was doing a record the other day. Was it 2 a.m.? And she messages me at 3:30 a.m. saying, "Are you awake?" I'm like, "No, no one's awake, Alisha, except you."
Went down and there was no one to talk to. I messaged Jo in the UK and she had friends over for dinner. She couldn't talk to me. But you know, it was, I needed to process that on my own, and I understand that, you know, it's been, I'll be honest, I've done some really powerful interviews in what's coming up in the pre-records, like David Icke, Alison Coe, Aaron Tyler, Steve Noble, Peter Maxwell Slattery, you know, Mary Rodwell, just to name a few. And the energy, because my world is about energy. The energy has been so potent in those collaborations and broadcasts that I have finished some of those pre-records and got completely knocked the F out.
Yeah.
So it's been, but I've been in the micro perspective at least for a week now, in just trying to get through and get everything done with precision and focus to make sure timing, scheduling, as you would well know, Nick, you know, and that's not a part of my brain that I really use a lot these days. Used to be, but not anymore. So it's been an interesting experience from that perspective. And then I think as of 2 nights ago and then last night, I caught this momentum of the entirety, the bigger picture. I kind of moved out of the micro mind into the greater mind. And I was like, just, oh my God, this is, I've had a few moments. And like you know, I would never have dreamt to have been able to sit on interviews and recordings with some of these people. And the response to come together for World Unity Week was incredible. You know, I often say this, like, I can be honest, can't I? I'm always honest. You know, Anna and I sat down with a list of people that we wanted to bring together at the beginning. And Anna was like, put David Icke. I was like, nah. And I was like, yeah. And there was a few people that we kind of went back, and me trying to stay small, I guess, I'll be honest, I was like, oh no. And you pushed me, and I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah, that was a funny day, actually. I'm like, you know what, pie in the sky, just go nuts, put them all down. And Alisha getting the responses, and it was, you know, like 1 a.m.
I completely lost my, you know what, when he was the third person to respond and say yes. And I was, it was an interesting, funny moment. And
What about you, Nick? Do you have someone to clear your energy?
So right, Katie's on it. She included you in it.
Actually, funnily enough, last night after our call, Anna and Petra said, if you need, if you start getting to you, she said, you message us straight away and we will do that for you. And these are busy ladies, like, So I'm very flattered that that they offered that.
But as a masculine, would you take up that offer, or?
Yeah, I would now. I'm starting to get used to that. Yeah, it'd take a lot, but I probably would. Once the energy drinks stop working, then you know.
That didn't even click.
Yeah, but I was gonna, because I heard, like, even I heard Todd say to Alisha this morning how he'd love to co-collaborate with you. And I could feel how genuine that was. That wasn't just like, oh, you've brought me on here, this is great, I'll tell you something lovely.
Make you feel good just for an hour or two.
Throw your bone. It was very genuine. And these are the things to come out of that, because I'm sure you guys have probably connected a bit more than you had previously when you guys have talked. So
today, this morning. I think it's almost a 1-year anniversary for me and Todd for the first time we ever did a collaboration together.
Yeah.
Done a few
Wow.
We've done,
together.
yeah, we have, but the very first one was
Yeah.
I think it was June or July last year.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know what my favorite part about Todd?
Wow.
Laugh.
I know.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
Laugh. Even
Yeah.
if anybody says he laughs and I just laugh. It's like, oh, you're the best.
It is a good laugh, hey?
I want to
Ju-
make
ju-
it my
ju-
ringtone.
Just so he giggles or whatever he does. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He has a very free kind of laugh, like just
Yeah.
joyful.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, he's cool.
Mm.
He's very cool. I mean, he's one of the guys, it's even surreal that you're talking to him because he's one of the guys that I looked at and went, oh, I want to be like that. You know, when I was starting to podcast and record, you know, so, and I mean, like even, you know, Jeff, because Jeff Christman, who does the podcast, he's been on Alicia's and all that stuff. He actually came on and, man, that guy to moderate the Zoom room, he's just so perfect at it. But I mean, and even he's connected
Love
to
Jeff.
Todd. No, he because like I said to him at the start with that Conscious Man project, I said, look, I think you'd be perfect to moderate, because he said to me, how can I get involved? What can I do? And I'll tell you what, like he's just perfect for that sort of. He was made for that role. It's just amazing. Yeah.
I've heard so much about this Jeff guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring him on a round table after.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? That would be awesome. That would be really cool. Can you see how pumped I am? I love the guy. I even gave him a jeff@consciousmanproject.com email. Yeah. Because he wants to do some interviews around it. And I said, well, use the email, because it's like, you know, again, street cred, you know, like people go, oh, that looks, you know. Yeah. So I said, I'll do you one up. And yeah. And so he's going to do that.
Amazing.
What's been your favorite part so far, Nick, with your project?
Oh, just hanging out with the dudes, like just hanging out with them and like looking at all these guys who don't realize all their potential. Because some of them go to me and it's you know how funny this is. They go, I can't believe I'm sitting here like talking, like in the room with you. We're talking like normal, and it's like that's weird, because like, I mean, like if I took people for a tour like of my street, my car, you know, the front yard and that, they go, wow, shit, this guy's, oh, excuse me, this guy's this guy's extraordinarily average. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just funny to hear them say that.
I think that makes you more relatable though, doesn't it? Like you're just human.
Yeah. And I think that's what partly probably makes the group good as well, that they can tell I'm not selling a course. Like they're not in my funnel, my sales funnel. I'm not.
You're not about to break out into pitch.
Yeah, but that's the highlight.
Just get a life path number 8. I'll be on your case later.
but yeah, no, connecting with like these guys, like it's just, and it's guy after guy that's just incredible. Like it's just, yeah, just connecting with all these people is, and I mean, World Unity Week has done more for me than I can return via what's going to come down the line in this group, in this temple over the next 4 days. Like I've gained so much more. I went into it without expecting anything, as you do, but I've gained so much more than what I can give out of it.
Well, that's according to you, but
yeah, I was about to say,
I'm sure you're helping a lot of masculines out there, especially the ones that, you know, like you said before, don't really have anyone to turn to, or don't have anyone to talk to about those things.
Yeah. Well, actually, you played a role too in you know, Mr. James Mullins, who you put me in touch with, Anna?
Yeah.
He's doing a presentation.
Oh, awesome.
And he's, you know what? He's a guy who has made a
Over
massive
here. Oh, you just activated your light body then.
It's James, because I was talking about him.
So what's
He's,
Mr. Mullins doing?
He's doing something. Yeah. Actually, he's doing something on the first day. So he's the truth of the divine masculine. In a world of labels, conditioning, manipulation, rules, and absolutes, I would like to share with all of you what I believe to be the true path for the future of the divine masculine energy within all people.
Wow.
And we've seen what he writes and how he talks. I mean, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's one of my man crushes at the moment, actually.
Really? I was totally crushing on you last year, actually. I woke up one morning and I just felt so defeated and just over it. And then first post on Facebook, thank you, you know, because you see the post and it always hits the spot sometimes. And it was his post that actually made me feel like it snapped me out of it. And I thought, who is this guy? So then I started following him more, and yeah, he writes very well and always genuine.
Yeah.
Very
Absolutely.
genuine. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I picked that up in my interview, and he's only young, Anna. Like, he's like, imagine where when he's an old man like me, imagine where he's gonna be.
How old is he? He'll be in his 30s.
26.
Same age. Oh,
26.
really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I know.
wow.
I know. Philo. Yeah.
Beautiful.
See why I feel like a fool? 26, and look at me, I'm 38.
You're too old, Nick. You shouldn't even be doing this.
Yeah, I know. It's time to retire.
Yeah.
Get on a pension.
Well, I look forward to hearing James's presentation then.
Are you going to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, of course she is. I'm going to call her just to make sure she is multiple times until you answer.
This week and next week, there's just going to be so much content to watch and listen to. Like,
we're all going to be catching up for
Yeah.
weeks and months just to get through everyone's content.
Actually, I'm going to find a way to continue to filter through over the coming weeks, like the stuff that goes up. I'll like reshare the posts maybe on my pages, so that in weeks' time people can discover what happened on audio, because it's impossible to see it all.
Yeah, it is. It is. Thank goodness for replays and
Yeah, totally.
There's such a beautiful interlaced, interconnected coming in and around. And I just want to share this. I know I'm backtracking like a million minutes ago from conversation, but you know how you were talking about in the beginning about how it's coming back around for you and your roots and your ancestry and all those little kind of fine line moments. And what really sparked for me was like just how interconnected this web that we're creating is through all these networks, collaborations, people, communities, and how people can come together and maybe not share the same narrative or mindset or perspective, but you know, this cohesion of unity. And one of the like full circle moments for me was that before, you know, I'd only just started Cosmic Gateway. I was really in the infant stages of, I'd never done a video, and I had been talking to this guy. It's funny, I was thinking about him the other day, and I was talking to this guy, and he got me my very first interview. So it was like coming back full circle about what it was like for me doing my very first interview, to get into the mindset of some of the people who are newly coming on World Unity Week for me, and it's their first interview or conversation. And it was that guy who told me that he'd just met this guy called Todd Medina, and he was thinking about starting this thing called Soulology 5D Soul Speak, and that I should connect with him and talk to him because he was just about to start. And this was like 2017.
Wow.
And that popped into my head. I was like, isn't that funny how it's always there and it just sort of comes back in and around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a good story, though.
And one day, Nick, in like maybe 3 years' time, you'll be saying the same story, but about Alisha.
Yeah. She doesn't talk to me anymore, though. I don't know why.
Ghosted you.
Yeah.
I'm going to be, as Kenny James said, I'm going to be chilling in the cosmos with my cosmic mojitos.
Yes.
You know, I've done enough of this, but I'm on a vacation, a long vacation.
It's interesting when you think about where we're all going to be in 3 years' time.
Oh,
Actually, I
goodness.
want to share one thing that Todd said when we were talking off the live this morning, and he was talking about World Unity Week and how he'd like to get involved next year, and I, absolutely think he should. Seeing this is his realm and what he does. And I said, we were talking about like what I know from what Ben has shared with me about the plan of moving forward over the coming years, and I said, I think it's a 5 or 10 year plan. I can't remember. And Todd looked at me and I have to laugh and have to say this. He said, 10 years. He goes, we'll be on Venus by then. I was like,
Oh, why wasn't that recorded? I can picture it.
Probably recording from Venus.
Yeah.
Why not? Alisha will be in Arcturus. Where are you going to be, Nick?
I don't know. Who knows?
Maybe in Holland.
I'm already just with my clogs and a little flag.
As much as I would love chatting with you all day, every day, I don't know if, oh no, you're going to join us on the roundtable as we conclude. Yeah. So we will see you this week. 100%. But just massive, admiration for everything that you have done and are continuing to do and will do into the future in the space of the divine masculine, Nick. And make sure everyone jump over. I will, when we get off this, try and post in the comment section where you can go, and we'll find something to post. Trello board.
We can post in the comment section.
Yeah.
Would that work? Yeah.
Right. Awesome. Just so that people know where to go, because I know it can be a little bit confusing. But day one, people will have found the ropes of where and what we're doing. So just so much endless gratitude for you, and I look forward to the amazing content that you all. I probably won't get a chance to watch it, but I will sneak. I can't even talk. Sneak preview. Thank you. Every opportunity that I get, could be at 2 a.m. and I can't sleep, and I'll be like, watching you. So who knows, right? Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Anna.
I'm really excited tonight. So bring on your game face, and
I'll have to. I said I'm going to wear a button-up shirt.
Ooh. I don't think I've ever seen you in a shirt, but no. Okay.
No.
Very exciting.
All right. Well, much love. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and we'll be back again soon.
Thanks, Nick.
Bye.